Hey, what's going on, guys? And welcome back to Alone in My Head podcast. I am Pete. It is the 54th episode. If you guys didn't know, I changed the name of the podcast from Jersey to Vegas to Alone in My Head. Why? It's kind of what makes more sense to me right now, anyway. Because Jersey to Vegas is done. I'm no longer in the transition of being from New Jersey to Las Vegas, even though that was a pretty cool one. It just didn't make sense title-wise to what the definition of this podcast is about. And so if I wanted to reach more people or a specific type of person that wants to listen to it, I'm sure Jersey to Vegas is not the headline or the title or the name of the podcast that they'll be looking for, no matter how much you try or talk into it. So it doesn't matter anyway, because most of the people that are listening are my friends, and I appreciate you guys to the fullest. So thank you so much for always hanging out and coming out most of the time. I don't know how this is going to film or tape because it's new to me. I'm inside a new house. So we moved into a house. It's been a pretty hectic past couple weeks. So now transitioning to this new house, it's cool. I'm in the bedroom because I really can't find a place to do this stuff as of yet. Soon it'll be a little bit easier, but right now my mother is actually with us, so that's cool. I'm glad that she's out here in Las Vegas with us after the passing of my father. The main concern is always keeping the other one safe or keeping the other one occupied, even though she's super strong. You know, she's fucking stronger than I am for sure. It's just nice to keep them around and making sure they're not getting alone, especially in their own head, right? That's kind of why I named this podcast that, because they always say the worst place to be is alone inside your own head, not knowing or thinking that you can talk to someone or listen to someone or reach out to someone. And it's important, especially in this time and phase of grieving, that you do have someone to talk to, you do have things to do, you do have other things to occupy your time in, not relation, I guess just opposite of what you probably would do. You know, because I know for me, whenever I'm by myself, that's the hardest part. Like, it's hard when I am there and I'm looking at my phone. And of course, you do it to yourself, right? Because now your fucking screensaver or your wallpaper is now the picture of my dad with my son, you know, or a picture of my dad with my daughter. And it just, that's kind of something that keeps reminding you of the pain that you guys have gone through, or the pain that you still experience, because it's not over. It's far from being over. To me, it still feels not real. It feels almost fake. I think the weirdest part is that you open a door or make a phone call or you think of something and you think they're going to be there, and then they're not. You know, that's kind of the more devastating thing about it. It's like you think and wish that person was there. You even just put them inside, you know, the thought train. And like, oh man, we're going to do this. And then seconds later, you realize that, no, it's done. You're not going to. And that's the hard part. You know, those are the hard things, especially with Father's Day just going. Father's Day was Sunday. And congratulations to all you fathers out there. Whatever. Yay. Father's Day. No one ever cared about Father's Day anyway, so like Mother's Day brunch is the busiest fucking day of the year in the restaurant industry. It's Mother's Day brunch and then Easter, right? Those are the busiest days of the year. None of them have to do with Father. So this is just saying, if we're trying to be so equal these days, I don't think Father's Day is as equal as Mother's Day, nor should it be. I don't know. Maybe it should. I don't. You tell me. You let me know how important is Father's Day in relation to Mother's Day. You want to talk about people? That's like asking if you're Democratic or Republican. That's like asking if you should wear a mask or not wear a mask. That's like asking if we should have gun control or no gun control. It's the same thing to me. Maybe not to you, but again, I'm alone in my own head. And that's what I think about. I have a lot of phlegm, if you can hear it. I have to clear my throat, as always. I always have to clear my throat. But yeah, the next phase of grieving, and I can pull it up, right? Let me pull it up just in case. But I know it's anger, and I can feel it. Like I feel anger coming. I feel angry. I feel short. I feel like I have a booger coming out of my nose. Stages of grieving. We've done this before for crank, right? That's boogers on my hand. We've done this before for crank, and it's funny. They told me to do the same thing for that, and now I'm actually doing it in real life. So the persistent traumatic grief can cause us to cycle, sometimes quickly, through the stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. Those are 5 stages. Some people say there's 7. These stages are also, some people say there's 7, right? I think I heard of 7. The 5 stages. Yep, it's 5 stages. Living what we lost. They are tools to help us frame and identify what we may be feeling, but they are not stops on some linear timeline in grief, which means some people can grieve and they'll be over it in a fucking day, or a week. And some people, it takes years. I personally know people and friends that I know they're still grieving. They still are there because that's how important that loss was to them. Or how unexpected, or maybe there was something else, like they had a fight before it happened and they didn't leave on good terms, and there's guilt. It's so different, for everybody. I feel like the best thing that you can do is not to be alone in your head and reach out. Like the first thing I did is when I knew when I was coming back here was to just meet with my therapist. That's it. And I couldn't get there because I got fucking COVID, right? I got COVID, right? Once I landed, I got COVID over here. Well, not here. Thank you, New Jersey, for giving me COVID. And then my whole family got COVID. So the kids got COVID, I got COVID, Nat got COVID. Nat is still coughing for the most part. And I'm still clearing my throat for the most part. But I don't know where I was going. I lost it. There, grieving people. I went there. Shit. I don't know where that train of thought went. It went down. The train of thought went to another country right now. So grieving is tough. It's different. It's different. I had it when I was with my dogs, and right now I guess you can say I am in denial. It's kind of fighting the fact that it didn't happen, versus like, is this reality? Is it even real? Or am I just trying to distract myself so much that I don't think about it? But I do feel myself moving into anger, mainly self-anger, anger towards other people, and just I don't want to be bothered. I kind of don't want to fucking be bothered. And that's it. Like, I don't want to answer messages, and I don't want to text, and I don't want to call, and I don't want to... Maybe I'm in depression. I don't know. Maybe it's already in that part. But it's like especially when there's no willingness to do something, and you just feel like you're like blank. Usually that's depression. That's where depression falls in. And I can feel it. I can feel that stage, but I definitely feel angry. I was saying self-anger, but anger towards other people. No one in particular. No reason in particular. Just don't give a fuck. Just don't care. I just don't. I'm here with my family, and then that's it. Everything else, I don't give a fuck. I don't. I wish I did. I wish I did have a care other than just my family. But right now, that's it. And I feel like... I'm a nuisance, or people are a nuisance, or I can't explain it. So I don't want friends. We're in this new facility, and I don't fucking care. I don't give a fuck about this new house. It's like, it's great. It's going to be so... I don't care. It's here. We made it. Congratulations. Like, I'm grateful for it, for sure. But in this time and period, I could give two shits if I lived in a fucking shack or if I lived in this house. It doesn't fucking matter. Because I'm sure I'll find the negative in both. All right? Because that's where I'm at. Like, it's sickening to say that that's where I'm at. Like, I'm at a place where positivity has to be forced. And I don't need people to tell me to be positive. Make sure you do this and love yourself. Go fuck yourself and your memes. Go put your memes somewhere else right now. Up something. That's where I want it to go. Okay, I'm taking a break. And we are back. I guess you can say that this is tougher than I thought it would be. I think about death all the time. I think about myself dying all the time. Like, not other people, nonetheless. Like, my death. And then trying to figure out, like, what's the funeral going to be like and, what's going to happen afterwards. And is everyone going to care, like, a year from now? Most likely not. And the way things are happening right now in this world and the pace of things, no one gives a shit after, like, 2 weeks. Honestly, we're the island boys. You tell me. Because no one gives a fuck. If you guys don't know who Island Boys are, they're two little Cuban kids that have tattoos all over their faces and their body. And they used to have dreadlocks. I believe they were blonde. And they would say they were the Island Boys. And they would rap. And they were terrible. Now, is it a gimmick? I don't know. All I do know is that they have lots and lots of money. And they buy stuff. And people follow them. And that was it. And at some point, they were on so much that they became viral. And, everyone used them, made fun of them, hired them. They were, I guess, TikTokers. And now, where are they? No one gives a shit. Right? No one cares. No one cares anymore. Didn't someone become president at some point? Does anyone even care? Anyone care who president is right now? No. Only in the time of the election. Everyone's like, rah, rah, let's do it. Put a sign in front of my house. And then after that, they're like, okay, next, what's next? Next, what's next? That's kind of how it goes. If Paul is listening, he would only be the one laughing at what's next. What's next? That is a inside joke, which I'm not going to explain. So I explained Island Boys, and I think that's enough of education from me to you guys with current events. But yeah, things go so fast that, like, who would even care? And who would even think about a person after death, after a year? The ones that really love them. And that's it. Then after that, thank God for Facebook to give you a memory to remind you of the date that it's going to happen again. You tell me I'm wrong, because I'm probably not. Facebook helps us remember everything, right? And that's the greatest thing about it. Go to memories. And you're going to be like, holy shit, I did that 10 years ago? Oh my God, I got married how long? Like, thank God for the fucking internet, or the now soon to be the metaverse, for these things to help us remind us of days and celebrations or pastimes, because it's fun. It's fun going down memory lane sometimes. I do it all the time. I enjoy it. It's hard for me to live in the present because present hurts so much right now. It just hurts. But there's good parts too. I don't want to be negative Nancy. I'm trying my best to not. My kids are having a good time here. I take them swimming. It's fun. Phoenix is going to start a new school. Nat's working. She hates it. I'm just kidding. She kind of likes it. Sage is going to be in pre-K next year. A lot of fun things. Otis is in boot camp. He's actually out. We got him back yesterday. And he's a completely different dog, but the same dog. I think it's cool. I finally went on a walk with him without having to clench my asshole the entire time. I was out there, and I wasn't scared. I wasn't cautious. I trusted him. I think he felt that. So whatever a large amount of money we invested into this, it's worth it. But now I have more classes. So I have 5 more weeks of classes, 2 times a week. So I bring him there now, and then we train. So it's intense. It's a lot of work. And the worst part is that it's pretty far from here. It's not a close drive. It's a nice, terrible 35 minutes of my life. I'm not going to lie. It's a tough road to go down, but at least we're getting it in for him. Present life is it's interesting, I'm kind of not allowing myself to think about other people. Trying to not allow myself to go back into the world of crank and things. And I found myself posting a lot before, because I guess I was thinking about going back to New Jersey, right? And I was going back, so I'm getting amped up, getting to see people. And then I would look up old videos and pictures, and I'd repost and put them up because it's nostalgic and it felt good. It felt good. And then I went there, and it just was not the same. It was not the feeling that I had, which I guess can be a good thing. Maybe it's a point of progress, or was it because my father died? It's who knows the difference. I really wasn't there. I was kind of checked out. I walked a lot. I cried a lot. I drank a lot. And that's kind of how I coped with that scenario. I honestly haven't drank since New Jersey because that fucking bottle of tequila put me through the roof, and I don't want to drink right now. So I want to, but then I think, I almost threw up my mouth. When you just have a rough one, and then really not a rough one, but a rough morning the next day. Yeah, that was tough. And you don't want to go through that again, especially when we're moving the house and doing things. But I definitely didn't feel what I thought I was going to feel. I kind of felt like I was obligated to see everybody, and then worrying about that was probably my main concern. And then, of course, I saw everyone in the world in a circumstance that no one wanted to be a part of, but I'm grateful that they were there. I definitely didn't want to be a part of that situation at all, but that's fucking life, man. Life is a bowl of dick. Sometimes you get a stiffy. That made no sense, by the way. Life is like a fucking shut up. That's it. It's a bowl of shut the fuck up, Pete, because that's what it feels like. And yeah, man. I wish I had more to say, but I want to update you a little bit today. What was inside my head? Hopefully, you guys have a little bit more inside your head that you can share, or make your own videos about, or do whatever. How are you creating a way to release and give yourself an outlet for the things that you're thinking about, right? The things that you are worried about, the things that you care about and love. Are you communicating this stuff with a person? Another person, an equal, neutral person. That's why I always say that therapy is huge. Because it doesn't matter what the fuck you talk about. It's just you talking. And at some point, there's some clarity or something else to work for, something else to work at. And we just become better that way. I may not feel like or look like I am better, but I am. Little by little, I'm doing my part to be the best that I can be right now. And that's it. And everyone asks, how are you doing? I say, I'm okay, for whatever okay means right now. I say, so I guess I am present. I'm present in the fact that I'm living in my truth and not trying to hide the fact that I'm hurt, or not trying to hide the fact that I care, or not trying to hide the fact that I miss him. Because I do. A lot. And no one else will understand that until you experience it for yourself, unfortunately. Not something to look forward to, by the way. So, all right. I'll see you guys later. This is Pete from Alone in My Head podcast. Technically, episode number 2. Right? I guess, should I start over? Or just keep going with the numbers? I like the numbers because it's a high number. Or do I just start over? You let me know. All right. I'll see you guys later. Till next time.